Thanks for tuning in for this week's Toro Talk. I'm Joel Norman, and we're joined by the head coach of the Mason City Toros, Nick Bruneteau. Nick, a big weekend coming up here against Rochester, but first let's talk about some stuff from last weekend, taking down the Minnesota Loons in 2 games. A couple of new guys made their debuts, Drake Adams and Matt Kochanowski also appearing for the Toros. What did you think of how they did in their first weekend with the Toros?
I thought they both I thought they both exceeded expectations. We were anxious to get both of them in the building and have more eyes on them and see what they were capable of. And Matt's a great defender. He's a guy who can add offense. He's got good hands, but he's a good skater and he can put us in good spots defensively too. So we're excited about him. And then Drake is a big body, plays physical. He's gritty. He's a team-first guy always, no matter where he's at on the ice. And he's another guy that we were looking to add some physicality to our lineup. And I think he'll be a player that's going to be hard to play against for other teams the rest of the year.
I think both are great additions, obviously, because this team kind of needed a little bit of sandpaper, something you talked about this year. You need some grit on the fourth line, the bottom 6, and then you just need another defenseman in general. So I think both are going to be an excellent piece of this team going forward.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, like the grit department, that was something we were actively looking and pursuing, and I think both these players help us tremendously with that.
Along with Jordan Newpower, who was brought in at the end of November, 3 new faces in the mix. Are fans going to be expecting to see any other new guys maybe for the rest of this month?
Well, we're always looking, and that's the thing with junior hockey is there's always movement, guys going up, guys going down, and you see it with a guy like Soda getting an opportunity to play with the North American League team, and the same thing goes for our guys. So we're always looking, and our players are always trying to climb that ladder. So we'll see. We just kind of take it week to week, though.
Picked up your first shutout win of the season last Saturday against Minnesota. In a lot of ways, it was like, finally, we got that one off the back. Had to feel great to get that one. Eric Chafe has been so solid in net on the road this season. Nice to have him getting that as well.
Yeah, you said it. It was a relief. I've been wondering that all year. We've had a couple close ones where we felt like we were going to get a shutout, and it's good. More than anything, it's good for our team defense, but it's great for the goalies. I think for them to get credit, them to get rewarded a little bit is always nice to see. And Eric's been great for us all year, especially on the road, and he's a guy we can count on. But Owen's the same thing. We love the way Owen plays as well, and they're both two. It's great to have 2 good ones. So.
Yeah, you've settled into that groove of, Carlson starting the first game of the weekend, Chafe getting the second, and it seems like both are just getting better with every single start. Maybe sometimes the numbers that night might not show it, but I feel like I'm noticing a lot more technical differences that are improving for both of them. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would. And I think the cool thing with those two is you don't always see it on teams, but they're close. Like, they're good friends. You see them when the bus stops, they get off together, they go walk in. Like, they're always together, and I think that healthy competition has helped push them and has elevated both of their games.
And you love to see that, obviously, because that is such a competitive position with who wants to play a little bit more, but great to see it's working out that way. Let's talk about Jack Campion. He picked up the first star of the week this past week for the West Division. Boy, just, another weekend at the office for him. Seems like he's kind of been Mr. Reliable this year. You can expect at least 1 point a night from him.
Yeah, I'm starting to get sick of questions about Campion, Newpower, and Soda. No, I'm kidding. Those 3 have been great, and Camps has been good for us. Playing that center position is a little bit more difficult, I think, at times, because you are the guy that has to play with the defenseman down low in the D zone, and he's done a great job for us in every situation, and every week I feel like I say the same stuff about him, but he's been awesome. He's a great player, a great kid to coach, so no complaints from us. He makes me look good. He makes Keith look good, too.
Well, as long as he keeps producing points, we got to keep talking about him, of course. But we'll talk about someone else here. How about Ryan Kaspar? He's starting to find his own on the ice, it seems like right now. He's had a solid season overall, but now the points are really coming in. 7 points, all assists over the past weekend. You've talked about it before. His IQ on the ice is so exceptional, and right now he's really been reaping the benefits of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's I'd label him as one of the smartest players in the leagues. I think his IQ is off the charts. His hands, his puck skills are very, very good. And you see a weekend like that where when he has time, and space to make plays, he's going to make those plays. So we love Kaspar. I think he's a locker room favorite as well. So he's a great kid, and he keeps getting better.
It's great to see those points coming his way too, because it's very clear he's a locker room guy. He's probably the loudest guy in that locker room sometimes as well. Let's shift our focus to this weekend, talking about Rochester. Saw them 2 months ago. In fact, that was the last time you guys lost on the road, which is remarkable to think about. It was at Rochester, a great game. The final score doesn't tell the story of that. It was a 5-2 loss that night, but it was 2-2 with half of the third period still to go, and I thought you guys battled back great in that game, but Rochester kind of presented some challenges that weekend, with the home-and-home series. What's the biggest thing that you look at about them and say, this is the biggest thing that is a challenge that they present for us?
Well, first of all, it was 2-2 with about 5 minutes left,
That's right.
and then they added 2 empty net goals. But
Right.
but no, they're a fast team. They play fast. They play with good pace. They've, just like we have gotten better, they've gotten better as well. They've added some players from the North American League. They've added some players elsewhere. But we know that it's going to be a tight checking game. I think teams, when you have two high caliber teams, the checking seems to tighten up a little bit more. Maybe there's not as many opportunities for both teams to create that type of offense. Special teams comes into play for sure this weekend. I think that'll kind of dictate which side has maybe a little bit more success, more chances. But no, they're a great team. They're very well coached. There's a reason they've had success in the past, and there's a reason our team has as well. And I think it'll be a great matchup for the fans, a great matchup for the league. And our guys have been licking their chops to get back after it since the last time we played them.
I think the neat thing is with both teams, we've talked about the connection between these two with both playing in the Fraser Cup last year. Both have had a couple of guys get moved up to the Null. That's got to be really, not just a great sign for both organizations, but a really good look for the league in general, that its two best teams from the year before are sending guys up to the next level.
Definitely. And there's no coincidence that these two teams are matched up. I think it's what fans want to see in the league. It's what the league wants. It's what the players want. It's what the coaches want. So they're a great organization, top to bottom, whether it's the coaching, their front office stuff, and we feel the exact same way. So no knocks on them. I think it'll just be a great weekend for both teams.
Well, Coach, get ready for this weekend. We're excited for it. Best of luck, and we'll see what happens. It should be a lot of fun.
Thanks, Joel.
That was Nick Bruneteau joining us, the head coach of the Mason City Toros, and this has been Toro Talk.